Why can't we say like 2 sentences?
Without laughing. Right.
Hello there folks and welcome to the Sort of Interesting Show. I'm Dan Brown and with me as ever is
John O'Griffiths.
And we thought that we'd just throw out a bonus episode and it's titled The New Year Special.
Yeah, so if this is the first episode you're listening to, it's a bit different to what we usually do. So if you go back to iTunes and download the rest, you can see what we're all about.
Yes, this is a little bit different, as Jono says, because this episode is all about Dan and Jono. Just thought we'd throw something out so you got a better clue of who we are.
And what we do, or what we've done as well, so to speak.
And how we do it so well.
So it's probably, we best start at the beginning.
Yeah, well, that's always a good place to start.
When did it start?
It was way back in 2007, about February, when I came to join you in the wonderful world of retail.
Yeah, your first day at work.
Yeah.
Got told to come and buddy it with me. And I think it was that first conversation that we had, and we just never looked back, really, have we?
Yes, just in passing, I mentioned what I'll loosely call my previous business, which was selling Star Wars figures and bits and pieces like that on the internet for a living. That was where the mutual interest of great nerdiness began.
Yeah, our mutual love for action figures and all things computer games.
Yeah, so we just started generally meeting up and playing a lot of Wii Sports and other such classic titles.
Mario mainly, though.
Oh, definitely.
But we were Nintendo fanboys back in the day.
Oh, definitely. As could be told from, if any of you, in the unlikely case, ever heard the Nintendo Clubhouse podcast we did in late 2007.
Which featured Lord Illingworth and Jono83.
Oh, yes. Lord Illingworth. He needs to come back. That is me, by the way.
I'm Jono83. Yeah, so over the last 5 years, we've had plenty of fun and games, haven't we?
Yeah.
Mainly involving me in the early days of taking you to spend thousands of pounds on electrical equipment.
Yes, I did get very overexcited in those early days of having a real job with a real payday.
Some of the early mischief we got up to was messing around with the TV begons.
Oh, good grief, yes. If you're not familiar with what a TV begon is, it's a little keyring device that basically when you press a button it goes through all the off sequences for all sorts of different brands of television. So we would go into nameless shops in nameless locations, large shops with lots of televisions in them, we'll say. One of these TV begons each, point them at the telly displays, and my goodness me, the chaos that broke out.
Watching them all go off in sequence as it gradually got to the correct code for each television was particularly funny. And then management just seemed to appear out of the walls or come out the ceiling, didn't they?
Oh,
to see what was wrong with their tellies.
Flipping heck. That's the sort of mischief that we would never advise anybody be part of.
No, we're trained professionals.
Yes.
Or act under constant supervision.
Yeah. So yes, the early days were filled with all sorts of nerdy mischief like that and trying to get every gadget under the sun and then throwing a tantrum when it wasn't as good as I expected and then taking it back the next day. Oh.
But karma eventually caught up with us both, didn't it?
It did, when between us we managed to have over a year off work with various ailments.
Yeah, I ended up actually having to have my gallbladder and spleen removed in the same operation. And you ended up with a hernia.
Yes, and then 2 years later, a follow-up one for good measure. So I'm now symmetrical again.
But all that's in the past now.
Yes, and times have really changed over the last couple of years, and I think you only have to look at sortofinteresting.com or this podcast series to see all the recent mischief and just the general fun and games we have, mainly outdoors these days.
Yes.
So, what a year it has been, 2011.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's been good. Personally, it's been pretty good for me because finished college, passed all my exams.
Excellent.
Yeah, what about you?
Well, I've pretty much just run around outside all year long.
This is the longest I've managed to keep Dan inside for all year.
Yes. Yeah, it all really kicked off for us, I suppose, on Christmas Day 2010 when I had my telescope that I'd been bought and we went off, as you might have heard in the astronomy podcast, off in the snow and all fun and games began there. But that started off the astronomy obsession for me, and goodness knows how many hours I've spent outside looking at the sky in the cold, dark nights. Yep, then on New Year's Day, I finally got my bike out of the garage and dusted it down. Went out for a quick bike ride in the New Year's Day rain. And well, since then, that's been another obsession. And got a good few thousand miles in on it this year. And, well, barely been off it. Except, I suppose, to go kiting. Well, it's been a very active year, I suppose. About halfway into the year, started sort of interesting. And then we've been podcasting for the last half of the year. And it's been excellent stuff.
So, what have we got planned for the future then?
Well, I've got a little trick up my sleeve. Not literally, because it would be exceptionally dangerous. In the form of hopefully getting hold of a few little model rockets to do some launching of.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes peeled for that.
You know, we do a lot of walking, so I think we're going to invest in a metal detector so we can take that around and see what we can find.
Yep, so we're definitely planning on keeping up the momentum into 2012.
Yep. We both hope you've had a great Christmas and New Year.
Stay tuned to the podcast, subscribe in iTunes if you haven't already, and give us a rating because it really helps us out. Make sure you check out sortofinteresting.com regularly. That can be your New Year's resolution. That's it. That's what I've just decided now.
Yeah, we're both on Twitter if you'd like to follow us. I'm at Jono_Griffiths1.
And I'm at sort_of_Dan. That's sort of Dan. So then, we hope you have a sort of interest in 2012. Until the next time, farewell.
Goodbye. Well, we can cut that section out.